Hello, I'm the Walrus Clown, and precisely 2 years ago, E-Rod the Blockbuster Buster posted the top 12 Jim Cummings Roles list, and then issued a challenge for anyone to do better. It's taken me quite a while to get to it considering my workload at my day job, and there will be some overlap with his video, but I've kept my promise I made in episode 2 of Walrus Reviews and have made the top 12 Jim Cummings Roles list. Order! Start the intro, please!
It doesn't matter what I write here, Jim's gonna make something else up anyway.
First, the rules. A. I can only have the character here if I've watched the show or movie. So seeing as how I haven't seen Disney's Princess and the Frog yet, Ray the Firefly can't be here despite how popular a choice he would be otherwise. But I'll throw him a bone by having him be the number transition. And B, one character per show for the sake of diversity, with the exception of ties. Anywho, let's get this started.
By the time I introduce myself, my name Ramon, but if I call me Ray.
Mayor Manx. Here we have Jim Cummings voicing Mayor Manx from the SWAT Cats, who is a greedy, cowardly, heavily corrupt moron who only steps in to take credit after the actual work is done. So basically every politician ever. Insert your own political joke here.
By the time I introduce myself, my name Ramon, but if I call me Ray.
Skrull from Chalk Zone, one of the only reoccurring villains in that show. His whole shtick is that he wants to get even with the main character Rudy for making him ugly. And you can just tell that Mr. Cummings is really enjoying this role because of how over the top he's allowed to be with the character. And I'd show you that, but we all know Viacom's copyright bots are like a pack of vultures. I don't need to remind everyone what happened to Mr. Enter when they decided they didn't like him, do I? And now for the first of what I hope are many voice actor fun facts that I hope to put in every voice actor list I make. And yes, there will be more voice actor lists in the future. Did you know that Jim Cummings sang the rockin' Ghostbusters remix for the Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon? I can't play any of it for you because music will get you flagged despite fair use, but look it up. The song is amazing. Seriously, the man needs to release an album. I'd buy it.
By the time I introduce myself, my name Ramon, but if I call me Ray.
Here we have the second incarnation of the Hanna-Barbera character from the Secret Squirrel reboot that was part of the Two Stupid Dog show, Morocco Mole. Serving as a stupider Watson to Secret Squirrel Sherlock Holmes, he came across as somewhat childlike, such as when the chief tried to fix the budget by having Morocco be his secretary after laying off Secret Squirrel, where he proceeded to make the filing cabinet blow up by trying to re-alphabetize the villain records by putting everyone under C for criminal. Come to think about it, I don't really hear people talking about Two Stupid Dogs much. Otter, write that down on the review it later list!
By the time I introduce myself, my name Ramon, but if I call me Ray.
Here at number 9 we have a tie, both of whom are from the same show, and being a tie is the necessary caveat for me to bend a rule to number 2. Fat Cat and Monterey Jack from Rescue Rangers. Jim took over voicing Monty from Peter Cullen in season 2, and Fat Cat was always voiced by Jim. Anywho, I just love how Monterey Jack, the team muscle, goes all Dr. Roxa whenever he smells cheese. It's a running gag that somehow manages to never outstay its welcome. And I also love how deviously over-the-top greedy and evil Fat Cat is. That demonic phantom monster that takes over my show every October really should have given him the honorary 13th spot on the villains list. Link in the description. Now for another fun fact. Apparently Jim Cummings is one of the 8 people who told you that only you can prevent forest fires. Yep, Jim Cummings provided the voice for Smokey the Bear for a short time during the 90s.
By the time I introduce myself, my name Ramon, but if I call me Ray.
Here we have Don Carnage of Tailspin, which is a weird cartoon that takes 3 of the characters from Disney's The Jungle Book, Baloo, King Louie, and Shere Khan, and places them in a 50s-esque world where Baloo is a pilot, Louie is a bartender, and Shere Khan is an evil business tycoon. Anywho, Don Carnage was a sky pirate, who, like Skrull, I can just tell that Jim was enjoying intentionally overacting with his character, whom's over-the-top personality pretty much demanded being overacted. It's like if Ricky Ricardo from I Love Lucy and his Havana band decided to stop singing and just steal stuff. And yes, I am more than aware that he also voiced King Louie. I just thought Don Carnage was a funnier character. Anywho, moving on.
By the time I introduce myself, my name Ramon, but if I call me Ray.
I might have just been a bit too old for Winnie the Pooh and Tigger when Jim started voicing both of these characters, but come on, it's Winnie the Pooh and Tigger! What kind of heartless monster hates frickin' Winnie the Pooh characters? Okay then. Anywho, that, and I don't know if he still does this, but Jim is known for calling sick kids in the hospital and talking to them in character as Pooh to help make them feel better. Where were you on that fun fact, Erod? Now for another voice actor fun fact. Are you aware that there's a version of the New Adventures of the Winnie the Pooh theme song going around the net that was sung by Jim Cummings? Apparently it was used for a specific church-owned TV station, so the recording making the rounds here on YouTube was ripped from a very degraded VHS tape that was recorded to air. But someone who knows how sound works really needs to restore the sound quality, or at least edit out the obviously ripped from a VHS chucking noise from the background.
By the time I introduce myself, my name Ramon, but if I call me Ray.
What can I say about Cat Dog? Jim Cummings and Tom Kenny just play off one another so well here. You have the stupid but fun-loving goofball dog, and a smart, cynical, neat freak cat that can't unclench in more ways than one. And yes, that was a wisecrack about how Cat Dog has no butthole. Don't look at me like that. It's not my fault Matt Pat left that joke open to make by never doing a film theory explaining how Cat Dog is able to poop.
By the time I introduce myself, my name Ramon, but if I call me Ray.
Jim Cummings took over the role of Ioz from Pirates of Darkwater in Season 2 of Pirates of Darkwater. He was a pirate if there ever was one. This character joins the likes of Bender and Grunkle Stan and falls into the lovable assholes that you can't help but love category. Ever since that undead pirate guy that normally takes over my show on Talk Like a Pirate Day was going to review that one but couldn't because the Mystic Ley Lines were screwed up last September for some reason, was going to cover that cartoon. I won't go any further on the character, but he has managed to contact me and says he'll hopefully get it to me by the midpoint of next month, and I'll be releasing it as a lost episode, and if you want to be sure that you see it, then you should totally hit subscribe and click that bell. Now for another voice actor fun fact. Were you aware that Jim Cummings' first voice acting gig and the role that cemented his long-standing professional relationship with the Disney Corporation was providing the voice for Lionel the Lion for the live-action puppet show Dumbo Circus?
By the time I introduce myself, my name Ramon, but if I call me Ray.
Fuzzy Lumpkins. What can be said here? He's a redneck Sasquatch that was overly obsessed with keeping people off of his property, whose first appearance just so happened to be the cartoon episode that got the Powerpuff Girls voted as their short that got made into a full-blown series.
By the time I introduce myself, my name Ramon, but if I call me Ray.
Here at number 3 we have Pete Pitbull, a character that is basically the Disney vs. OG supervillain that actually made his first appearance 3 years before Mickey did during the old black and white Alice Shorts episode Alice Solves a Puzzle, and is a role that Jim Cummings took over in 1992 and still does to this day. Goof Troop, Kingdom Hearts, even the new Mickey Mouse shorts here on YouTube that started back in 2013, all of whom come highly recommended. Now for another voice actor fun fact. Did you know that Jim Cummings did a live action role? Specifically, he played the drunk partygoer in the comic book movie.
By the time I introduce myself, my name Ramon, but if I call me Ray.
Taz is my favorite Looney Tunes character, and Jim Cummings voices the character. But I will say that the Welcome to Taz-mania cartoon from the 90s is probably my favorite interpretation of the character. Come to think about it, I don't really hear people talking too much about that one either. Honor! Write that one down and review it later, list!
By the time I introduce myself, my name Ramon, but if I call me Ray.
I know the obvious number 1 is obvious, but come on, it's Darkwing Duck! It's the man's signature role! And on top of everything else, he was allowed to talk to the writers and help develop his character to the point where a lot of what makes Darkwing comes from Jim Cummings. Here's hoping he gets his wish and new Darkwing gets made outside of an in-universe TV show on the new DuckTales cartoon. Well, that's it for this episode. Anywho, a special thanks to Erod the Blockbuster Buster for being a good sport about the stupid joke in the opening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell. See you next time!
My friends, depend on me, Smokey B, to voice a plea. Respect the forest, protect our trees. Oh, what I do.
Smoke, baby, what's the trouble?
Round, this isn't
But
me.
Smoke, you're 50. We agreed you'd talk to kids in their language.
I know, but I'll just give it to them straight. Kids, only you can prevent forest fires.
Smokey, look, Smoke!
I gotta get back to the forest.
Oh, Whitey flies. Something, like, comment, subscribe, watch another video, something. ad-libbing something for 20 seconds is hard.